So we're going to check this video out. Super thick white woman only wants black men. Oh, wait, but there's a problem. And this is coming from the good brother, O'Shea Du Jackson. So let's check this out.
As the old saying goes, opposites attract. This is why you have the feminine and the masculine energy, protons and electrons. Yeah, that's pretty much true. Opposites indeed do attract. But when we're talking about race and we're talking about racism, opposites can also attract. Sometimes a lot of brothers don't want to deal in the same community, just like black women don't want to do the same. And when it happens like that, we find black men going over to other groups. But in this case, white women. Now I'm going to be honest, black men do like white women, at least some of them. But I think the most favorite kind of white chick that black men are attracted to are what we consider POGs, which stands for fat ass white girl. Yeah, that's what it really stands for. I didn't make it up. That's what they call it. So pretty much a white woman with a black woman's body is going to be preferred by the black man. And I found out a good explanation as to why this is.
Now, look, I bet people are wondering, why do black men go after white girls who got big asses or white girls who are thick? Or why do they go after other races that are thick with big asses? And it's quite simple. We use those women as a substitute. We use those women as an alternative for the black women that we want, but we can't find and who we can't have at the current moment. So we settle for a white girl who's thick, curvy, with a big ass, or a girl who's Spanish who has a big ass, curvy. We settle for those girls because deep down inside, we really want a thick, big booty black girl. But they are hard to find. They are not easy to find. I don't care where you live at. It's hard to find a thick, curvy, big booty black chick who's single, who's available, who has a nice face, and she has no kids, no baggage. Bro, it's hard as hell. Those kind of black women. The majority of black men are into curvy black women. So when you see a black dude walking around with a curvy white chick, dude, all he's doing, he is settling for. He is settling for because he can't find a black chick who's built like that. Look, his mindset is, hey, it's better than nothing, right? Because deep down inside, it's like,
What's up with the burger? What's up with the burger? Are you trying to say they like to eat? Which they do like to eat, but okay.
man, it's like, yeah, he's trying to find a big black girl, but it's like, look, if I can't find her, I gotta just settle for the next best thing, which is a chick who's not black, but at least she has the curves of a chick who's black.
And with that being the case, I actually found a guy who is named Joshua Henderson. He made this video called I Was Looking for Some Pogs. But unfortunately, this happened to him.
Went on a website called skipthegames.com. I was looking for me some pogs. Yeah, pretty much. The only sad part about it is, you know, the white girl who I picked up from her house yesterday didn't turn out exactly the way how I pictured her to be. Hell, the didn't even look nothing like her profile pic. Sure, I came up to this girl's house one day yesterday, picked her up, asked me if I was the one she's supposed to meet, and I told her yes. And the thing about it is, she's white, but as far as, you know, everything else didn't quite go quite so well, you know. Picked the girl up, you know, and I was all like, what the hell in God's name are you? You are not at all what I pictured.
Yeah, seems like black men would do almost anything for some pogs, at least for the guys that really appreciate them. But that brings me to what I saw a little bit earlier today. So of course, there is this particular episode of Kendra G where you see this 23-year-old white lady by the name of Madison who is, let's say, very curvy. And the name of the video is She Has a Body, No Kids. Very mature for her age, prefers black or Hispanic men. Must love God. Can I get a dun 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 sound effect?
Red flags.
Oh yeah. So I wanted to know a little bit about her. So let's check it out.
Okay, Madison, where you calling us from, honey?
I'm calling from Tampa, Florida. I'm 23 and I'm a Gemini.
She's
Oh,
hood.
girl, you ready? 23 Gemini. What do you do for a living?
I'm a manager at Racetrack.
Okay, manager at Racetrack. Do you have any kids?
No kids.
No kids. So Madison, Tampa, Florida, 23.
See, here's what we talking about. Yeah, she looks full, curvy. We want that to hit. We don't want that as a wife or a partner or a mate or whatever you women want to call it. She's hood as hell. You can already tell. So immediately by her talking, men put women in categories, wife or other. This woman right here, just from speaking 6, 7, 10 words, she's other. We know already.
Gemini, manager at Racetrack, no kids. What kind of man you looking for, mama?
Well, I like a God-fearing man. I know a lot say that, but someone that believes in Jesus. And I like, I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous.
So
What
stop right there. The first thing that I notice about Madison is she sounds, if you were to, let's say close your eyes and not look at her, we would assume that she was African American. No doubt about
black.
it. She definitely has been
Yes.
hanging around black people, if not mostly or not all of her life, right? But listen to her preference.
I do have a preference. I do like black men and Spanish men or mixed. So that's my
What's your
preference.
ethnicity, Madison?
I'm Polish. Or white, European, white. Yeah.
And her brain cells, is she just not that bright, or does some drugs or alcohol, does that play in the factor? Because she just slow. She seems slow.
So you don't say, I'm sorry, say one more time.
Well, white, European, white, Polish.
White, European, Polish. But you prefer black men or Hispanic men?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Oh yeah, she loves black men. Yep, she said it. But here's something that Kendra G is gonna ask her to do that's going to shock you.
Let's see this body, Madison, girl.
Okay, hold on. I have to
Oh, she can't wait to
pop
show
you
this
up
off.
somewhere better.
Let's see this. I like your outfit. You definitely got. Ooh, child. You got black girl body, Madison.
Oh,
Yes,
Lord.
sir.
Why you say that to her? She know that.
Oh yeah, guys, did you see that big juicy booty? I know that you did. But wait a minute, stop the show. What is the real reason that she doesn't like white men? And I think that I have the answer. Fast forward, Nima. You see, I live in Uganda, right? And I notice that, when I do come across white women who are, let's say, extremely beautiful, and I will say that these are the kind of white women that white men would like. Want to know what I never see? I never see them with a Ugandan man or an African man. I always see her with a white man, even if she's in Africa. However, when I do see, let's say, white women who are more, let's say, pleasantly plump or big, beautiful women, white women, I almost always see them with the black guys. I never see Caucasian men with them. And this is what causes me to really study her. You see, she's Polish and white Polish. And I'm not saying that Polish guys don't like, white women who are a little bit thicker, But I lived in Poland for 6 years, and the average Polish guy wants a woman that is much smaller. So what we see here is, well, because maybe she doesn't mind black or Mexican men or Hispanic men, she knows that, hey, with her, she can get even a more attractive black man on average than, maybe in the Polish community would give her, maybe have some more power in the relationship. Because see, one thing that BBW or thicker white women know is that they're going to get elevated in our community. Hell, almost any Caucasian woman gets elevated when dealing with black men. And the same thing goes for dealing with black men as a white woman. And the same case is for white men who deal with black women. They don't have to look as good as the actual black person themselves because they're white. But Dr. Umar Johnson touched on this also.
Number one, it's about a black man being an economic stimulus package to the white woman.
Okay.
Most black men marry down in class when they marry these white women.
Okay.
You can't find a rich white woman who ever married a broke-ass black man.
Boy.
Show me one rich white woman who has ever married a broke-ass black man. So this ain't about love. This is about agenda.
Okay.
That's number one. Number two, the black man wants the white woman to provide him with a degree of psychological validation. Only a low self-esteem having ass Negro would marry a white female in the first place, because you feel that if I can get the white man's woman, then maybe that makes me feel a little bit more equal to the white man. And then thirdly, you're absolutely right. We're the gods. We are the first man. So naturally, white women are going to be attracted to us because we are the original man. Everyone is attracted to melanin. It is liquid gold.
Boy.
But you have to love your liquid gold enough to say that y'all have misogynized us enough. Y'all have blended us and crossbred us enough. And I'm not going to continue to perpetuate that evil. This melanin is going to go into another melanin. We trying to make black blacker, not black whiter.
That's right. I also don't expect this particular young woman here to be very financially rich. I'm pretty sure that she isn't. Because Dr. Umar is right. In this case, the white women who are successful and have a lot of money, very rarely will you see them marrying a black man who is not on the same level. He'd have to be richer than them. And it goes back to what we're talking about. Usually white women who are, let's say, let's look at Vanna White back in the 80s and 90s. A white woman that looks like that has a lot of options. Even if she does like black men, she will still have a lot of options in her community, which she'll probably take. All right. And then also, if she's rich, well, she most likely isn't going to do that. So when you see this white woman who comes over who's shaped like a black lady and curvy, and again, a lot of black men would look at that as, well, it's hard for me to get a big booty black woman in America. Well, a big booty white woman is probably not going to be asking the same things that a black woman will. She more than likely will be more submissive. And booty clapping sounds, yeah, I'd still be able to clap cheeks. So it's the best of both worlds. I have a white girl who has more social standing on average than a black girl. And if she has a big butt, then it's the same thing as having a black chick, but that's white. And some brothers say, real hair and all this other stuff, right? And that's typically what happens. A lot of black men will go for the big booty white woman because, number one, they are going to be probably not so, concerned about how much money you have. They're not going to be concerned about what kind of car you drive. They're more than likely to just choose you based on, your personality. And also, you're going to get a lot more privilege with that. And that woman is most likely more willing to accept you than a black woman who's from the, from the inner city, who might have higher standards or might call you corny. Remember that one guy we saw, talking about he got stood up on a date? We're going to be honest. That kind of brother would not do very well with sisters, right? But he could do well with a white woman and get a white chick that is a pog, right? That is super thick. But then again, when we see brothers going for stuff like this, typically it's not a chick that comes from the upper echelon of white society. Typically it's a white lady that's been raised around blacks almost all of her life. And yeah, she sounds like Mrs. Brooke, which is not an issue. But yes, she will be getting a lot of brothers in the DMs ready to trick it off. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy City Jackson back at it again with another episode of Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for you. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.
So this young lady, in particular, Miss Madison, is not a woman that I would choose to be with long term, partner, long-term relationship wife, she's not the one that I would choose. Definitely not. She thick, curvy. That is nice. That is nice. But she has dead brain cells for whatever reason. Is it from drugs? Is it from drinking? Is it from having a certain lifestyle? She's only 23 years old. She's in her prime. And I'm not making judgments. I'm just observing things. I'm just telling you what I see. If you can't answer a simple question, because here's the bottom line. Ladies, understand this. From conversation one, uno, a man already knows. A man already knows. And don't try to be deceptive, because we know when you're being deceptive. But from conversation one, we already know what we want to do with you. Do we want to just hit it? Do we want her to be our wife? Do we want her to be, like y'all like to say, a partner, long-term relationship? From conversation one, a man already knows that. So keep that in mind. So don't play no games. Don't do none of that. Don't do none of that, because either way, we're gonna get what we want. If we put you in the category where we just gonna hit it 1, 2, 3, 6 times, we out. If we want to wife you up, that's what we're gonna do. Either or. There's 2 categories. There's wife and there's other. Now, wife, I always say today, a man getting married is really not a good deal. So we'll get very close to that. You know, long-term relationship, I'm with you, you with me, that's that. That's all. But just keep in mind, from conversation one, we know. We know if you are being real. We know if you being deceptive. We know either way. So ladies, when you talk to a man, oh, we were vibing, because y'all believe in vibes. Men don't believe in vibes, not men. We know from conversation one, well, I thought we had a good thing going and he just ghosts me. Well, because from conversation one, we already know what it is. And we act accordingly.